Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Just coming to my WW meeting and how to dish with D do this week. This is my second week on maintenance and I stayed the same. I was a little bit stoked, let me tell you. I was stoked. Why? Because I had 3 parties last weekend. So yeah, I'm extremely happy with this. Heck, I would have taken a gain and still been happy because I did really, really well at these parties. And before I get into the parties or the weekly topic, I want to talk about my girl Wilma. She came up to me at my meeting and gave me a Christmas gift. And she said to me, I just want to give you something because you're so inspirational. I just don't know what to say. Thank you, Wilma, for making my year. You guys here, people at my meeting, make me, I love doing this and I love being accountable to people and then having, I don't know, it's just like that when people get me and get my journey and I could help them in the smallest or biggest way, made my year. Wilma has made my year. I mean, just thank you. Okay, no more of that. The stuffed pasta shells. Now we all know that this is a pasta snob, so I'm not quite sure how the stuffing would be. Low fat. You don't use the fat-free stuff. Low fat is where it's at. Oh, I made a rhyme. Yeah, fat-free stuff is not really good, and especially a warm pasta. It doesn't really melt well. So yeah, they are not using fat-free. They are using a low-fat part skim. So that is how my recommendations for anything you want to lighten up. Don't go fat-free. Low fat is where it's at. All right, topic du jour is let's talk holiday recipes. 'Tis the season for cooking, baking, and saving time. Storing your go-to recipes in the WW app can help you cut back on time spent tracking. Instead of adding up the smart point values of each ingredient of your favorite sweet potato casserole, save it in the recipe builder. So yeah, we did talk about that today, about how to lighten up things that you love. Besides navigating parties, because that's the time of year for this kind of stuff, it's how can you lighten up something that you really truly love and go in the recipe builder and put, and sometimes you're substituting butter. Usually it's fat and usually it's sugar. And there is ways you can lighten up. I mean, you could, saving point here or there adds up. So if you can save a few points on a side or a couple different sides or a dessert, that's like a roll in my world. So she was definitely telling us to utilize our tools. That is, one of the things that is included in my subscription is my e-tools. So I use my recipe builder when I'm making something large, like a casserole or a dish with multiple components. It's just easier, and you could try to figure it out in your head, but the problem is sometimes servings help you lower the points, because the more servings you get of something can lower the points. So it's best to put it in the recipe builder. It absolutely is. So that was a big topic today, and also navigating parties, navigating the holidays. And I have to say, I did go to 3 parties last week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was a lunch and 2 dinners. And my lunch was salmon and potatoes and a salad with Caesar dressing, which I don't normally have. And I did have 2 other little rolls. I had these itty bitty little rolls. I had 2 of those, and I had a caprese salad. Now it was lunch and dinner because we didn't eat till 3 o'clock. So I didn't get hungry till like 8. And Dish with D does not eat after 6. Because of the reflux I used to suffer from, I would never eat at 8 o'clock. That just would never happen. I could have had popcorn, but I probably, because of being way day on Saturday, I wasn't going to have popcorn at 8 o'clock at night. The salt probably would have threw me over the edge. So no, I did not eat dinner. That was my lunch and dinner. I didn't even finish my salmon. I had 2 nice little slices. I only had 1 and I took the other one home because I was satisfied. And I'm trying to be more mindful of being satisfied versus being full. And that's how I did the weekend as well, because I was always at the party on Saturday. Last year I think I told you this before, I came home sick. So I avoided carbonated beverages. I brought my tea. Don't go anywhere without it anymore. And I had water. So I love her wine punch, but I think that's what made me sick. I really do. I think it's a sweet wine punch and it's delicious. But I think that compounded with the carbonation. Why is this person coming down this way? Wow. This is crazy. Oh, I guess you got lost, huh, dude? Yeah. There's a car coming at you in a one-way street. Yeah, keep waving at me. You must be drunk. I got off my track. So I didn't have any of that. I just had water and my tea. And what I did is I started off with this salad. She had made a beautiful tossed Caesar salad again. It must have been the theme for the week. So I made a nice, and it wasn't dressed too heavily. So I, and I had points because I had breakfast and I had lunch, but I went in there with 17 points because I had my omelet and my toast and I had my salad for lunch. And so that was my dinner. We got to her place around 3:30, ate around 4, and I had a big plate full of salad, and she had chicken tenders. They were breaded. I don't think they were fried. They didn't taste fried. So I had a chicken tender. I had a meatball. I avoid the pasta. Like I said, I could have pasta anytime. So baked ziti and lasagna doesn't really move me, but that's me. I did not have a roll. I planned on a roll, but I didn't have a roll. I did have a pretzel bite. She had these stuffed pretzel bites with cheesesteak. Yeah, I'm all on that. So I had one of those. And they weren't, it was a 2-biter, maybe 3-biter. So yeah, I took that. And she had a little kibasi. I took that and did I have sausage and, I think I had no, I didn't have sausage and peppers there. I just had the kibasi. I did go back for another piece of chicken. So I thought that was really, really well. And I only had, she had cookies, and I planned on a biscotti there because Ginny makes also biscottis. And she dips the one side in chocolate. So I did have half, I don't think I ate the whole one, I don't remember. Because my husband's there, and I had a taste of about 3 cookies, and he finished them all for me. And then I had some fruit. So I was definitely satisfied. Was I full? No, I could have had more. I'm never full, so you never can say that. So I'm never full. And then Sunday, I had same breakfast and same lunch. Had another salad. I always put in my salad chicken and a hard-boiled egg, and whatever vegetables I have in the fridge are always in my salad, and olives. I'm a big olive person, and I use my I use 0 point of my ranch dressing that's here on the channel. It's really, you can have a 1/4 cup, I think, for 1 point. And I don't even need a 1/4 cup, so I don't even use a point's worth. So it's 0 points. And it's really, really good. It's made with Greek yogurt and the powdered ranch and homemade buttermilk. I make my own buttermilk. Yeah, I know. I'm a domestic. No, I made it out of necessity because I'd like going to the store and getting buttermilk, and it was the same points, using 1%, a cup of 1% milk, 2 tablespoons of distilled vinegar. Sit for 5 minutes, you have buttermilk, and it tastes just as good as the buttermilk I buy in the store. And this way I don't have to waste it, because that container of buttermilk was always too big and I never could use the whole thing. So yeah. So my ranch dressing is fantastic. There's also a couple teaspoons, where's the tablespoons? It's in the recipe, of light mayo. It gets mixed in there. But it's very yogurt forward, and I think it just works really well with the ranch. So I really, really enjoy it. I had that, and then at Mary Ann's I had, she has these little half sandwiches of croissants. I had a turkey and cheese, I think it was. And I had a couple pieces of her husband makes homemade kibasi and homemade sauerkraut. So I knew I was having that. And she did make little sausage and peppers, and I did have a meatball. And I did have a small slice, very, very thin, of carrot cake. Because it looked good and it was outstanding. And I did have a few pieces of cookie. I split with Steve, and they had Stock's pound cake. Now, I'm from Northeast Philadelphia, and if anybody of my viewers who live near the Philadelphia area know of Stock's pound cake, you know what I'm talking about. They make the best vanilla pound cake you've ever had in your life. I am very biased. They made my wedding cake. It's a tradition for us Philadelphians to get Stock's pound cake. They make it in loaves, and you can get them plain, vanilla ice or chocolate iced. Vanilla ice is my favorite, but she had the chocolate ice, which girlfriend had it anyway, but she had them sliced in little sticks. And my husband and I split one. It was, yeah, it was all that in a bag of chips, and I definitely enjoyed it. And we did split a couple of cookies, so I didn't feel deprived. Again, I didn't feel full. I felt satisfied. I knew I had, and like I said, I went in there with like 15 to 17 points, and I split my weeklies up between both days. Well, no, actually, I had all my weeklies on Saturday. My weeklies did change over on Sunday, so I did grab a few weeklies early, but I did bank weeklies all week. I know, District banked weeklies is a monumentous thing, and I made an effort to do that because I knew I wanted to save points from Sunday to help me out, and I stayed the same. So I feel like I did what I achieved to do. I enjoyed myself. I stayed on plan, and I ate good food. That's all we want in life. Good food, staying on plan, and being mindful. So that is what I wish for all you guys. So yeah, so this is my second week on maintenance. My second full week. Starts my third. So I have my little green card. So next Saturday I'll be halfway done my maintenance. So I'm still within my 2 points. I'm actually at my goal weight exactly. So I'm really happy about that. What else? Tea with D is tomorrow night. I will be live at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We will have our Christmas tea with D, we'll call it. Maybe I'll make some, I don't really like egg. Maybe I'll go and get some almond nog. Because I'm not a big eggnog person, so almond nog really fits in my world because I don't really like eggnog. It's the thickness that I don't like about it, which is hilarious because that's what people like about it is the thickness, but that's what I don't like about it. It's too coating, it's too nutmeg too. So maybe we'll have some almond nog. We'll see. But yes, live tomorrow night we'll do our Tea with D online meeting chat, and we'll talk about, everything we're going to be dealing with this week and how we all did on plan. And sometimes it's a hard time of year, so don't always feel you have to have a loss. You know what? It's a very hard time of the year. My friend Linda, she had a 0.2 gain. She was a little upset. I said to her, and she didn't track all week. I said, for not tracking all week, 0.2 is a gift. It's basically a huge win. So Linda, it's a win. Don't ever think less of yourself for something like that. If you gained 5 pounds, yeah, I'd be a little bit, you'd be a little bit disappointed in yourself. But you know what? 0.2, that's a pea away from being the same. That's a win-win in Dish with D's book. So other than that, yeah, I'm going to be doing the bacala video this week. I'm going to do the anchovy spaghetti video this week. So won't be till probably Tuesday, Wednesday when that comes out. So keep an eye out for my Italian classics, Lightened Up. I'm trying to, actually, the anchovy pasta is very light anyway because the sauce is 0 points. There's really, a couple tablespoons of olive oil and the vat of sauce I make, it's nothing. And it's anchovies. That is it. Anchovies and tomatoes. It's very basic. But those anchovies, they hold a punch. They really do. They're very flavor forward. And I'd have to count the spaghetti. So that's a win in my book. That's a Weight Watcher recipe if I've ever seen one. I don't think that sauce would fare very well on like a spaghetti squash or I don't know, or a zucchini noodle. I'm not quite sure how that would go. It might not be a bad, who knows? But I will not be doing that. It's just gonna be regular spaghetti because I bring it to my brother's house for a Christmas Eve feast, and I'm doing something with bacala. My mother always made a bacala, which I was never a big fan of, so I'm not doing her version of bacala. So that's been soaking. It has to soak for like 3 days. You keep rinsing the water because it's cured or preserved in salt. So you have to go in and keep rinsing and get the salt out of it. So that is, I go and rinse it out as we speak. That'll be, I think I'm going to do either bacala balls or a bacala salad. I'm not quite sure, or I might do both. Depends on, I did get 2 packs of bacala, so I'm really not quite sure where I'm going with it, but we'll see. I can't plan too much because, I always have big aspirations and the things never happen. Oh, I put too much on my plate some days. I can't imagine why I do that. But yep. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thank you. This is like my most watched video of the week is always my weigh-in. So I thank you guys for tuning in and listening, and let me know how you did in the comment section. How'd you do this week? Like I said, it's Christmas. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's just food. And don't get too angry if you had that one too many cookies, had that one too many pieces of cake. It's Christmas, and yeah, we work hard to get here. I did. I worked extremely hard to get here. I didn't think I'd be here, so this is uncharted territory. But you know what? It is also the holidays, and it is what it is some days. Not that I'm going to go hog wild, because I'm not. But if I want something, I'm going to find a way to fit it in. I just am, because it's that time of year. Don't make me sing. It's that time of year. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great, fantastic rest of your day. Let me know. Hope to see you tomorrow night at Tea with D. As always, you're the best subscribers on YouTube. And you know that. I'll pull up. Bye, folks.